This is an Oddcast.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
You're
Deej
welcome,
kasi.
guys.
My bad.
Well, hello, Deej. Welcome back.
Hello.
to my
Nice
host.
to be back.
I mean,
a co-host.
this co-ho,
Yeah.
yeah. Kev is not here at the moment. He's my usual co-host, but actually, no, he's right there. He just, yeah. Hi, Kev.
Kev, ba't wala ka dito for me?
Yeah. Asking
What
the
is
right
going
questions.
on?
Asking the right
Asking the
questions.
right questions.
What happened?
Dude, you're so fucked. Like, dude,
Blacklisted ka na kay
you're
Ayn.
screwed.
Should I take offense?
You should.
You should.
Heh, man.
I took offense for you, so.
Ah, okay. Well, Kevin, mag-uusap tayo pagkatapos nito.
Yari ka, boy. But welcome to another episode of the Oddcast.
Yes, the Oddcast. Oddcast.
And today we have a very special guest. Very, very special guest wherein we will be talking about something that, I mean, it's all around us nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Like if you scroll on TikTok, if you scroll on Instagram, it's all there.
Yeah. Even YouTube, what do you call it? Shorts. Yeah. Shorts.
Reels, all that kind of stuff. And it's very, very apt that we have her on the show today because this is, I think, going to be a series.
Oh.
Where we're talking about spoilers.
Spoiler.
But yeah, so today's topic kasi is all about content creation, which I think is very, very important in the landscape of, I mean, not just in advertising, which we usually talk about, but even in the landscape of today's world.
Yes.
Because,
definitely.
again, like I mentioned, it's everywhere. Everywhere you see is content, essentially. And content creation now has been very accessible, more so now than ever. And it's just appropriate for us to have this wonderful guest
Yes.
on the show today.
Quite wonderful
Quite
indeed.
wonderful.
Ako lang to.
So please welcome to the show everyone that's here. Round of applause, please. Yeah, I'll pipe that in.
Yes.
To Miss Ayn Bernos.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you so much. Hi, Oddcast fan. Ano tawag niyo sa fandom niyo?
Podcastinistas?
Hello,
May fandom ba tayo?
Oddcastinistas. Well,
May
I-
haters nga tayo eh.
Okay.
We have haters.
Oh,
Haters.
no.
love it.
Well.
We'll talk about that later.
Yes.
But yeah. So yeah, welcome to the show. I'm super, super glad that you are available today.
I know.
Of
Thank you for bringing
course.
the weather and
Yeah.
the traffic today.
I think
No
this will
worries.
come out in a few weeks. But
Yeah.
just to remind people, right now there's a storm.
Yes, there's a
So
super
thank you for
typhoon.
your time and your effort.
Thanks for having me and thank you for the Tokyo Cloud.
Oh yes.
Oh, speaking of, excellent segue.
I know.
So tonight, as per Oddcast tradition,
We have a
we
drink
have
of the
a
night.
drink of the night.
But because we have a special guest, it's a special setup. We have three drinks for
Three
tonight.
drinks. We asked them to randomize our drinks, actually.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. We were like, dude, we've drunk everything here. Just surprise us.
Surprise us.
So, yeah. So, I think you got the Tokyo Cloud.
Decaf
Special
version.
request.
Decaf version.
Just for everyone's information, you can get all coffee drinks decaf at Odd Cafe.
Odd Cafe, 7th floor.
Finman
Finman
Center.
Center.
131 Tordesillas.
Required to plug it. What's your drink, Deej?
My drink is a sour candy, which I think is a gin
We've had
based.
that.
Yes, we've
Yeah.
had this. We've had quite a
We've
few
had
sour
a lot of that.
candies. But yeah, I was telling Gio a while ago, this specific one has a little kick to it because I think
We need that kick.
Yeah.
It's a long day.
long week. It's been a
Long
long
week.
week. What do you have, Leandro?
My drink is the Odd Martini.
Odd martini,
So, it's a martini na odd.
which is vodka, right? Vodka
Yeah.
martinis.
Pero
are
ano
vodka.
siya, may halong coffee also.
So it's a
Yes.
espresso martini.
So
Perfect.
yeah, thank you again to the Odd Cafe for always providing our drinks. Thank you, Odd
Thank you
Cafe.
po.
Thank you, Odd Cafe, for the drinks.
I love the Odd Cafe. Who doesn't love the Odd
They're
Cafe?
the
The best.
They're the
7th
best.
floor, Finman
Seventh-
Center.
yes.
131 Tordesillas.
May sign sa labas. May signage na sa labas.
Bagong signage at napakaganda.
Nag-glow siya, diba?
Sobrang ganda.
So yeah, cheers guys.
Cheers.
And
Cheers.
super happy to have you Ayn on the show.
Excited.
Cheers! Oh, wag mo
Yeah,
itatapan
sige.
yan.
Cheers na lang.
Clink. Clink.
Yum.
Oh shit. Here we go.
Here we go. Ito na.
All right, I think before we start, really getting into it, I think congratulations are in order.
Oh, I think congratulations are very much in order. Nga.
You think?
Why nga ba? Because.
Because.
Sinagot niya sarili
Oo
tanong.
nga.
Why nga ba?
Because
Our guest today has also recently taken a new role.
ooh,
Which role is this, Leandro?
I think this is an Oddcast exclusive.
I know. Actually, this is your first
Your first interview post.
post the
Nakakaloka.
announcement. Wow.
Oh, people should go on here and announce these.
Coincidentally.
But
So-
yeah, congratulations to Ayn for taking up her post as editor-in-chief.
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 Of
And lalabas na yung
Nylon Manila.
graphics dito. Nylon Manila.
Editor-in-chief. Yeah. Okay, got it.
Okay. But
Thank
yeah,
you,
congrats.
guys.
Congrats, dude.
Thank
Grabe.
you. Today lang siya lumabas actually yung news. So by the time recording this, ngayon lang lumabas yung news. But yes, I am back in the office doing some cool stuff with Nylon Manila. So yeah,
Cool.
exciting times
Exciting
ahead.
stuff.
Exciting times nga. Shoot kayo dito. We have a studio for you to shoot.
Ito na.
You guys are getting into
Plugging
podcasts.
na kaagad.
There's a setup already here. But we're not talking about, Ayn's post on Nylon, even though, wonderful stuff.
Yeah,
But
we can't
today's-
wait for
we
the
can't
content
wait, yeah.
actually that Nylon comes
Me
up with.
neither.
Yeah.
But today we want to take a step back and really dissect, content creation. I think it's a
Yes.
big buzzword nowadays, content creation. It's something that, a lot of people want to be content creators. But, it's tough. A lot of people tried it, but only a few can actually, create content consistently and something that resonates with people.
True.
I want to ask Ayn this question about content creator, because of course you've been in content creation for a bit. Like, as something that's newly prevalent kasi in this space, like on digital, for example, what was your path to becoming a content creator in the first place? Like, what was your journey like towards this?
So it all started when I got a camera and I wanted to go on YouTube. So yun talaga yung pinaka-first ko. It was 2016 and I was working at an ahensya.
Oof.
Ahensya life.
Yes,
so
sir.
I was also an ahensya girly. Digital marketing. I was a social media specialist. Tapos yung intern ko was a YouTuber. And I was like, anyone can do it pala. So then I got a camera. I filmed my very first intro video, literally just talking about what I'll be talking about in the future. And then ever since then, I started posting challenges. Nung time na yun, yung mga 21 facts about me, mga ganun. Yung mga ganung stuff. And then, yeah, from then, I just never stopped posting. It evolved really from YouTube to TikTok to Instagram to blogging even at one point, and then to today na ito na yung full-time job ko. So yeah, it took a lot of years actually for me to get here.
Solid.
I know. Parang every time I hear these stories from content creators who I feel like not really wanted or had the intention of making it big. But for me, those people who do make it big, parating ganun yung start. It's like, I just wanted to start something and just see where it went. And it always ends up na ganito. And to some people, when they hear that, dali lang. Sure, anyone can do it. But for sure, I've seen, like, I have content creator friends na I've seen them na 200 followers. And then now it's like, sobrang dami na. And you see talaga, like, the changes and the hardships that people go through. It's really hard because I feel like you're not only the boss of yourself, but you're also all departments of yourself because you're your product diba? So parang it's just so hard and I feel like it's really a big hurdle and once you do get over that, parang that's when you finally get your stride and you feel like the content you're creating is like relevant to a lot of people or a lot of people resonate with that. So yeah, super kudos. I super look up to people who can consistently
I
create
tried.
content.
It didn't work out.
Well, how long has it been?
No, I stopped. I mean, content creation is very wide kasi. Parang there are content creators. You can consider anyone a content creator as long as they put out content. On my end, it's like the podcasting realm, which is why I helped start this in the first place. But yeah, I mean, I didn't make it big with my old podcast, which is fine. Because for me, and I think it should be the same for most content creators. Now, it's really the passion behind it. But yeah. So, I want to ask you though, what moment did you exactly realize na parang, shit, pwede to content creation, okay to Okay racket to
Yeah. Or parang...
Like, is there a specific video
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Do
that you
have
were
a
like,
video?
may potential?
Would you say like yung video that made me blow up or the video where I thought, oh, maybe I should pursue this full time, ganon?
Pwedeng both, because like maybe the video that blew up wasn't the one that made you say na parang okay, this can be my 9 to 5.
Well, actually, it didn't even start with that because ako, medyo intentional ako from the time na I decided to be a content creator. When I started filming videos, my intention was to be like the bloggers at that time who were already doing it as a full-time job. So sabi ko sa sarili ko, you know, if they can do it, why not me? But for me, it was harder to find my niche kasi hindi naman ako singer, hindi naman ako travel vlogger, hindi naman ako dancer. So parang wala akong may offer except my thoughts and even my makeup skills are bad. So, nung time na yun, I thought lang na if I figure out my angle, my unique selling point, medyo mas strategic yung pagplan ko. As a Virgo, I knew na there was a way to do it because other people have done it.
Yeah.
So, wala akong from my content that made me want to pursue it as a 9 to 5 job, but more so the idea na there are people out there living my dream life. So,
I
parang
see.
I'll get there too.
Ganda nga.
Because I usually expect when I ask content creators that question, there's always that one video for them, but like yours is a little bit different because you willed it into existence essentially.
Totoo.
Well, willed it with a lot of planning, of course,
Yes.
definitely.
As a
But-
Virgo.
As a Virgo.
But did you have like a video that's like from back then that really
Sig-
like
Siguro,
opened you to it?
yeah, yung Taytay Hall ko. So,
Oh.
2016, yun yung time na everyone was doing mga H&M haul, Forever 21 haul. Wala akong pere. So, wala akong magawang fashion haul. That time, I was a fresh graduate, very minimal salary, and wala akong extra to do hauls. So, and even then, hindi pa big ang e-commerce. So, wala
That's
talaga
true.
akong mahol-haul.
Yes.
But then, my mom and my titas went to Taytay and they were like, ay, gusto mo matry yung Tiangge sa Rizal. Tapos ako, Tiangge, Rizal, magkano yun? Tapos when I got there, the outfits were like 40 pesos, 60 pesos. As in, I got a lot of things under 1,000. Tapos hinol ko yun. And that went viral. I mean, viral for 2016. And flex ko talaga yun na ako yung unang nag-post about Taytay Tiangge. Oh, ako talaga
That
yun.
shit got really big.
Yeah.
It did.
I've never been personally.
I've been, and it's wild. And yeah, you go at like nighttime pa, right? You go at like 9 p.m. or some shit like that. And then it's until 2 in the morning. And people order like when they say, oh, I'll get this parang this style. I'll get all the colors. Tapos they'll pay on cash, on hand.
That's literally me.
Sako yung inuwi nila. It's so wild.
Sako?
Yeah, dude.
Sa sobrang dami talagang
Grabe.
options and mura, well, at least that time. Hindi ko alam ngayon na, pero
No, but I don't get it. Like, why Taytay? Like, why is it there?
it's the
it's the-
garment capital of the Philippines.
Yeah.
Is it?
It is.
Bagsakan talaga there.
Dun yung mga mananahe, everything. So, syempre for somebody like me on a student budget, dun talaga ako
Sure,
nagpunta.
for sure.
And then it went well. I ended up parang unexpectedly moving towards the fashion lifestyle niche because of
Yun
that.
nag-push sa'yo dun.
Oo.
Gets.
Thank you, Taytay.
Thank you, Taytay.
For giving us a in. Thank you, Taytay.
Sino yung ano dun? Mayor ng...
Sino mayor
Mayor
ng
ng
Taytay?
Thank you, Mayor.
Mayor, salamat.
Oh, shit.
So when it comes to, like, let's say, the content that you create, before, sige, compare na lang, before and now, do you still look up to the same content creators? Or as your style changes when it comes to your storytelling, do you also look up to different people na now? Or is it still the same core, not naman idols, pero core ethics of a vlogger or a content creator na you look
Like
up
the
to?
content creator you try to emulate.
Or the content,
Yeah.
they try to emulate.
I would say yes. Kasi
Same people.
More or less the same people because these people, like for example, si Jen M. Internationally, I really love watching Jen M, who started out as a thrift fashion vlogger. Tapos ngayon, she's now a mom and she vlogs about her mom life. And then locally naman, I read blogs nila Chris Uy, I read blogs nila Laureen, David, and ngayon na they were able to transition to video blogging and TikTok and everything, to me, they've really professionalized content creation.
Yeah.
So I look up to
for
them
sure.
because it makes me feel like meron akong future sa ginagawa ko. So definitely, I look up to them and I still admire them, not for the same reasons. Kasi at the beginning, I just wanted to get into the career just like them. Pero ngayon, the way that they've continued to adapt and adjust to the different consumer behaviors, parang ako, ay, pwede pala to. Pwede pala
Galing
to
nga.
maging solid career. So, ayun, it made me feel na possible pala siya. So, I still look up to the same people.
I super get that. Because like, as you mentioned, si David Gison, right? Sobrang wild because he started with what? Lookbook.
Yes.
Right? Started with Lookbook. He was doing all fashion stuff, outfits. And then he transitioned to fitness, lifestyle when he started to get buff na. And then after that, more of like lifestyle with his girlfriend. And then naging
Yes.
travel. And then now parang, yun nga, ang galing na parang they adapt not only with the world but also with what they need at the moment. Alam mo yun, na parang siguro their interest is also like tweaked along the way na parang before fashion, tas fitness. So yeah, I super look up to those OG ones talaga na
Yeah.
lookbook pala nag-start tas andun pa rin sila hanggang ngayon. That's crazy.
Tsaka before, di ba nung lookbook era, it was more their aesthetic that you admired.
Right.
Yes.
During that
Yes.
era, it was like, wow, pictures, ganyan. Pero ngayon, now we have TikTok, YouTube, you see their personalities na na-realize mo, ay, shucks, like, completely different person pala and completely different attitude, completely different vibe. And ako personally, I've only grown in appreciation kasi mas nakita ko na, there's so many layers to them. And yeah, ang dami pa palang matututunan.
I think yung ano nga, the fact na you hear their voice, na parang there's a voice to the face na.
Yes.
Na parang
That
that
matters.
Diba?
Yeah.
That in itself, parang nag-iiba na talaga yung outlook mo when it comes to how you see a person. But yeah, no, sobrang galing. Galing ng mga yun.
Well, you've been in the content creation game for a while already. Definitely. 2016 is I still think 2016 is like 4 years ago.
I think it was like
Same.
2 years ago.
Diba?
Tagal na
Parang it's
pala.
weird, dude. That's how many years ago is it? Like 7? I'm really bad at math. That's why I'm
Yes,
in advertising.
7.
Oh, 7 years ago was crazy. Can you imagine? 2016. So you starting in 2016 and you're still doing it up to this day. What do you find difficult about the whole process in the first place of content creation?
Siguro setting boundaries. Kasi if you're a content creator, it's like you never really have a weekend. You need to be mindful about what parts of your life you'll share. You need to be mindful about, okay, when will work stop? Because sometimes the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning is you check your notifications and hindi mo maiwasan na gusto mo lang makita yung messages ng friends and family mo, but you see everyone else's comments. So there isn't a strict line, unlike with my 9-to-5 jobs before na pag natapos na yung time sa gabi, wala na. I'm not gonna check my messages. I'm not gonna reply. Ganon. Pero with content creation, it's like, at what point is it a job and at what point is it a passion project or my personal life just being shared online and publicly? So, navigating that, especially since wala masyadong guidelines, hindi naman tayo lumaki na meron tayong ethics board on content creation or like merong degree on content creation. So, wala kaming precedent. Wow, precedent. Big word. Wala kaming sinundan talaga. So, we kind of had to set those boundaries ourselves. And me having to grow up on the internet, it's quite hard to undo things, unlearn things.
Right.
But now na, it's been 7 years into the game, medyo mas kaya na siya.
Mas gamay mo na.
Mas gamay ko na siya, pero mahirap pa din.
For sure.
I think we should start a petition na magkaroon ng council of like content creators para they make the first book na parang
VSC. Vlog Standards Council.
Meron. Actually,
Meron?
there is. Pero the thing is, we don't have like, wala kaming mga policies or anything like that.
Oh, there
It's-
is.
Yes, there is, but it's more right now mga events like networking,
I see.
ganon.
Okay.
But not necessarily parang wala pa kami dun sa pa-guidebook, pa-playbook,
Gets.
pa-whatever.
Yung
Ganon.
parang what content is parang borderline pushing too many buttons na.
Yeah, wala
Parang,
kaming ganon.
Okay.
It's not
Gets.
yet
What should
like
there
that.
be in the first place, though? Like, content creation is, an expression of people's...
Feeling ko not in a
Personalities.
sense of prohibiting people from posting what they want to post. But
Yeah.
it's more of like, I guess maybe in let's say with me, in my school, taking up photography, they have a course there teaching us how to treat photography as a business. So maybe something like that plan to help people who want to start content creating, or maybe to parang just something to that people can look back to, just to parang kind of like find a way. Pero ayun nga, I feel like that's only gonna happen if it's an exact science. Right
Yeah.
now, parang it's still up for grabs pa talaga what
It's very difficult to manage the
Yeah.
whole scene
Totoo.
in the first place, diba?
Totoo.
Super bilis niya rin mag-evolve.
Yeah,
Parang
super.
parang a few years ago, it was long form content and all of a sudden it's like 5 seconds.
Yeah,
What?
dude.
5 seconds of content.
How do you do that? I can't do that. I'm I don't think I can make compelling content in 5 seconds.
Ako
I have to
rin.
set up like 5 seconds na. Puta.
Feeling ko hello pa lang natin yun eh. Hello.
Hey.
5
This is
seconds
another
na.
of the another episode of the Oddcast. Wala na.
Wala na. That's your 5
Wala
seconds.
na akong masasabi. But yeah, that's tough. I mean, the evolution of the platforms, it's something that you have to adapt to. So,
And it's wholly based off of the behavior kasi of the people who watch.
yeah.
Yes.
Diba? So actually, when it comes to that, the people who watch, do you consciously put an effort towards growing your fan base, or do you parang just parang leave it to the universe na kung whoever sees your content are the people who are meant to see it, or do you parang actively kind of I don't
Cater
wanna
to them, no?
yeah
Yeah.
do you skew towards their direction?
Siguro, it's not necessarily skewing towards their direction, but it's more allowing myself or making myself more discoverable by the right people. It's more being conscious about attracting the people I want. So, for example, with my content on YouTube, on TikTok, I have an account. I have 2 accounts kasi on social media, on TikTok, sorry. So, one is lifestyle and self-development. The other one is education. So, I teach English pero in Tagalog.
Oh,
So, dalawa
that's
yung
cool.
accounts
That's
ko.
cool.
That's cool. I think Leander and I will benefit from that page.
Uy, hindi ah.
Uy, hindi
Hindi mga English share na kayo mga bro.
Di ako marunong mag-Tagalog.
Pero ayun, so actually, so those 2 accounts have massively different audiences. Kasi dun sa teaching account ko, mga either students or adults who want to learn English. And then the other one is more lifestyle people na mahilig sa makeup, mahilig sa fashion, mahilig sa career. So magkaiba talaga sila. And for me, it's more about understanding my core, my values, and my purpose as a creator. And then making sure na based on the standards of the platform, whether it's TikTok, YouTube, I am discoverable. Kasi yun talaga yung
True.
pinaka-goal ko as a creator, I guess. It's not really getting any fan base or like parang getting as many followers as possible. It's more cultivating a community of like-minded people. So, siguro, I will still strategize and optimize para lumabas ako sa FYP, pero hindi sa kahit anong FYP. Gusto ko sa FYP nung makaka-appreciate and may matututunan sa content ko.
Should we have to take notes?
I know. Buti na lang this is recorded.
I know. I have to fuck. Gio, growth.
Growth, yes.
Tama naman.
So when you mentioned nga na you want na the people you want to be seen by is those that you want to, cater to. But we can't always, well, actually we really can't. We can't avoid people who, stumble upon your page and parang, just say stuff na parang, just to make you feel down or, mga ganong klaseng tao na wala magawa sa life nila. Pero, because we're very proud na the Oddcast
Is it
has...
weird? I'm sorry, but is it weird na parang, recently, we have a TikTok kasi.
Yeah.
For Oddcast. Follow Oddcast, TikTok, Oddcast page. And recently we had a video. I forgot what video that is.
I think that was the...
Nag-viral ba
ano,
kayo?
The influencer...
yeah.
I think it's the influencer.
That's right.
ano.
Parang may nag-comment, hindi man siya nag-viral.
But,
Pa-viral din yung
anong
comment.
sinabi?
Parang may nag-comment lang na, naka-bleep naman to, ba't niyo pa pinost? Parang ako,
Parang
They
ganun.
noticed.
Diba?
Diba?
So parang ako, oh dude, thanks for hating.
I
Kasi-
know, parang okay, like, as someone who isn't, big on content. I mean, I'm not big yet. We're not big yet, right?
Yeah.
Parang, there are people who tell us na parang, once you get haters, kasi parang, you've made it, because you have haters. And I'm like, oh, it kind of makes sense to me, but like, it's kind of a weird thought also. But like, do you also get that? When did you first get haters by the first, or do you even get haters? Because your content's so wholesome.
Or how do you handle like
yeah.
stuff like that?
Well, honestly, as if your content is exposed to a certain number of people, dadating ka sa point na
Yeah.
mayroong may hindi gusto sa'yo. Honestly, hindi talaga siya maiiwasan. It's part of it. And I agree. I mean, in a certain way, like you
Haters
are.
gonna hate.
it's just bound to happen. And yung sa akin, generally, at the beginning of my career as a content creator, hindi masyado yung hate because, again, I've cultivated a very safe community, very like-minded people. Pero it changed when I joined Miss Universe Philippines in 2021. Tapos all of a sudden,
Holy
so
shit.
many people from iba-ibang communities, iba-ibang backgrounds, na-discover nila ako, and then they started looking at my stuff. And that's when it all poured in. All of a sudden, people were commenting on my body, my face, my ideas, everything. And it was so overwhelmingly scary.
Yeah.
Especially because I had no control over what people would say or how they would react. And I guess as somebody who's taken care of like my reputation online and my community online, when I got exposed to all of that, parang, how do I make it stop?
Shit.
But then, again, it comes with the territory. It's both a blessing and a curse in the sense na kailangan mo na tanggapin na not everybody will understand where you're coming from and not everybody will understand the context and just not everyone will like you. Hindi ka naman talaga likable sa lahat. And parang natutunan ko na siyang tanggapin over time because even the best people I know, like the people I look up to so much na I know are super kind and super wholesome, like you said, meron pa rin silang haters. So, kung ganon, wala, ganon lang talaga. Ganon na talaga ang ating environment, unfortunately.
I also feel like with the pageant industry kasi it's a blessing and a curse because the fans of the pageant world are super loyal fans. And that's
Very
what I love.
passionate.
That's what I love about it also na parang every time we have a representative for a beauty pageant abroad, talagang full force lahat ng Filipino will really just like it's like boxing. Right? It's like boxing. But yun nga, I mean, because they're so loyal and they're so passionate, they really fight for the person they feel like or they truly support. And I feel like that's why it's both a blessing and a curse. Kasi sometimes, they're just parang looking for bad things to say about you. And sometimes it's not even true. Diba? Parang it's just hearsay, but they'll really like double down on that just to, alam mo yun. But yeah, it's super good na it's just accepting the fact na
I mean,
you're not gonna please everyone talaga.
Yeah.
Oh, but
You know
I
what?
use the filters, Like, I use the comment filters. That really helps.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
So, for example, meron akong words or comments na nababasa, nakaka-trigger sa akin. Kasi syempre, I need to protect my mental health.
True, of course.
So, for example, words like, yung mga nakaka-trigger sa akin kasi, syempre, body image, coming from pageantry, gaining weight, having PCOS, all of that.
Gets.
I mean, you have to deal with your personal stuff publicly. So, pagka may yung mga words na sinesensor ko, mga finifilter ko, obviously, like, related to body image. So, I never even see them.
Nice.
Because I've put it sa Instagram ko and sa TikTok ko just so I don't like have to get triggered because alam ko naman sa sarili ko, I mean, I see myself in the mirror every day,
Yeah.
It's not something that's new to me and it's something that I'm working on already. So it's not like constructive criticism. So for me, wala namang point to hear those comments. So I just keep them out of sight para I can continue with my work. Because otherwise, naalala ko there was a time na I got so anxious, I couldn't even open the apps. That's how I work eh.
Yeah.
That's my job. So I need to protect that space so I can continue creating.
It's good that these apps have this tool, no? Like to help
Yeah,
to help
Yeah, they
content
do now.
creators also. Kasi I feel like with the rise of social media, sobrang naggrabe rin yung bullying talaga.
Yeah,
like
for
because it's
sure.
so accessible, it's so easy to bully someone now.
I personally
Yeah.
don't get it.
Diba?
Like,
Ako
I don't
rin
know
eh.
why there's so many hateful people online.
True.
Is it probably the anonymity?
Yeah.
But at the same time, why?
True.
You know.
Don't you have better things to
I
do?
know.
Just play outside.
Touch some grass.
I
Touch some
know.
grass.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
God.
I think people forget na the people they see online are human.
Yeah.
Just because it feels like so parang detached because
Because you're seeing through a screen now.
Through a screen
and not
lang.
really like
That's
face
true.
to face.
but it's actual people with actual feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah. And people deal with things differently rin talaga.
Well, speaking about, the tools like that,
Yeah.
after hearing that, it's parang you've done so much to stay consistent and yun nga, to always be relevant or to appear in everyone's FYP or the people that you want to be your audience. Do you feel like right now the demand, like it's more demanding to be a content creator versus, let's say, being an influencer, or parang because coming from, like, I feel like you've dabbled in both naman, like evidently or consistently as well. Do you feel like being an influencer is less demanding or is it more demanding as to being a content creator?
Question first. How do you differentiate influencer and content creator?
For me, I think an influencer is someone who creates content pero they're trying to sway parate people to buy. That to influence.
Siguro, wait, ano yung question ulit?
So what is more demanding?
I mean, it's demanding in different ways. I mean, a big part of our jobs as influencers and content creators is working with brands. And as you know, as advertising people, hindi madali
Yes.
to work with brands because, of course, you have to find the balance between keeping your authenticity and also meeting the requirements.
Yeah.
And, this is how you get paid. So, I think walang depende sa'yo eh. Depende what your forte is. Because some people are just genuinely and naturally good at selling. And a lot of people are just genuinely good at marketing. And others are great at storytelling. So kanya-kanya. But for me, ang pinaka-struggle ko would be staying relevant because attention is the currency of content creation
nice.
and influencing. Thank you. I-quote niyo na ako.
Attention is
I-tweet
the
niyo yan.
currency.
I-tweet niyo yan.
May
But-
post na yan. Ngayon meron na. Really.
But it is. And
It's
it's
true.
hard na parang, what? You need to always get reach and engagement and views and
Yeah,
whatnot
That's very demanding.
in order to stay relevant in your
Yeah.
field, as opposed to, again, going back to my 9 to 5, I just do my job and I get
Right.
paid. But here it's like, I need your attention,
Yeah.
listen to me, watch me in order to get projects. So, yun nga, that's why I've learned to not capitalize on being trendy because it's hard to keep up. It's really hard to keep up. So instead of like growing my following at any cost, it's better to just, stay true to who I am and have a plan B in case this doesn't work out. Alam mo yun? Like parang alam
She's
ko.
just being real, guys.
Yeah.
Tama naman.
If, one day, knock on wood, malaos, edi, the thing is, you'll always have the soft skills and the hard skills you've cultivated over the years that you've created content. Malay nyo, bumalik sa ahensya, But,
Malay mo, mag-EIC na naman.
maging EIC. Pero yun, like, I think it's always important because this is a very young career path. It's important to know na dapat may backup plan ka pa
Yeah,
rin.
yeah.
Dapat meron ka pa rin, meron kang safety net
Right.
in terms of your career, not like your rich parents, but like safety net of a
Sorry.
career move.
Yeah.
Para in case na ma-burnout ka, which is very, very possible in content creation, if in any case na you feel too pressured na, what if I'm irrelevant? Or if mag-suffer yung integrity mo because of what you do, then ako, practical lang ako. Kailangan meron kang mafo-fallback ka na
Tama naman.
na,
Gets.
Tama naman.
job.
Yeah.
So ayun, that's like one of the things that I always consider na kahit na I am a content creator and I make money from this job, iniisip ko pa rin na if things don't work out or if I want to stop at any point, I want to always be learning and cultivating skills para meron akong pupuntahan in case I want to go off the internet.
That's taxing, no? I mean, just the thought of like you're doing it full time content creation, but like I think you having the foresight to, to think that parang this might not be forever.
Yeah.
I don't think there are a lot. I mean, there are also a lot of people who think that way, but there are also an equal amount of people who don't think that way, which is
No,
very
this will
scary.
be forever. No.
Oo.
Yeah.
And I think we've seen maybe a lot of people that go through that na parang bigla sila na losses, wala na, diba?
Yeah.
Parang
Yeah.
It's hard. Must be really taxing.
You mentioned, content creating can be taxing and can lead to burnout. What do we call it? Is anti-burnout rituals? Let's just say that. Are anti-burnout rituals part of your process? Or like, what is your process about when it comes to creating your content? And is like giving self-care and self-love part of it?
I'm a big fan of systems. Obviously, as a Virgo, I love systems. I love processes. So even as a solo creator, as in before kasi when I started, wala naman akong team, wala akong manager, wala akong editor, wala akong anything. Nung time na yun, meron akong mga processes for myself. Like I had the schedule ng upload, I had a time and a list of things na gusto ko i-film. So yun yung at the beginning. But now I have a team, I've learned how to delegate, and I've tried to set boundaries. So as much as possible, I try not to schedule anything on weekends. Lagi kong, one of my rules with my assistant is, lagi kong sinasabi sa kanya na, if you have a deadline on Monday, ilagay mo siya sa Friday sa calendar para matapos ko na and I have nothing to think about
During
for
the
the
weekend.
weekend. Tapos, ayun, parang it's up to me kasi to set my boundaries. It's
Yeah.
up to me to tell my team, okay, hanggang saan lang ako, ano yung mga gagawin ko. And it's always difficult because, syempre, kanya-kanyang deadlines per brand, kanya-kanyang deadlines sa mga tao. And it's like, you have to constantly adjust. But again, I'm just really grateful I get to do this for a living. So it's up to me. I think it's my responsibility to safeguard my mental health.
Yes.
For
so,
sure,
ayun. Equal fun rin. Ginagastusin ko rin naman sarili. Ay, magpapanails ako. Tinan nyo naman, ganda-ganda ng kuko ko.
Zoom.
Zoom. Tignan nyo.
Zoom.
Appreciate nyo naman yung kuko ko. Pero yeah, I mean, just making time for the things that I love to do. And also, making sure na I also go offline.
Yes,
Na
for
pagka
sure.
nasa bahay ako, I don't vlog. As in, when I'm at my parents' house, I don't vlog. When, ayan, mga ganun.
Yeah, tsaka I think it's also parang not naman, it's like safeguarding things that you feel like should be yours lang. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Na parang not everybody has to know every single thing about you.
I mean, there are things you can't compromise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To your audience, for example.
Yep. Like mental health.
Exactly.
Mental health.
Which is a very touchy topic.
It is. And yun nga, the burnout talaga is something na a lot of people don't really think about until it's there na. Na parang,
Yeah.
ito na ba yung nafe-feel ko? This is why I feel so tired. Alam mo yun, uninspired na sila.
Yeah.
You know,
Like, I can't imagine, you know how there are content creators who put out content every single day. Like, I can't imagine being able to do that.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
Di ko rin
Diba?
alam because
Parang-
I'm not that kind anymore.
Yeah.
Actually, there was a time na I was so excited about TikTok because, I mean, I'm still very excited about TikTok, but iba talaga yung passion ko nung pandemic, nung
Oh, yeah.
lockdown. I posted 19 TikToks in one day.
That's holy
And
shit.
I blew up overnight nung sa Teacher Ayn ko na account. I posted 19 TikToks and I was like, how do I do that again?
19 a day
Yeah.
in one day.
Yeah.
I can't.
Pero I
that's
think,
almost one every hour.
yeah, actually, I was just
is.
sitting down and filming like this, film, post.
But that doesn't require too much editing naman
Exactly.
kasi.
I think that's the great thing about TikTok. It's that you don't really have to make a lot of effort. You just need to be happy in what you do.
For sure. For sure.
Galing.
Ang hirap ng 19 in a day Parang
Di ko na yun
kaya.
naulit ever since.
Okay
Ano
lang.
yun?
That was
It's
a
okay.
one-time,
Really.
big time. That's my record.
Pero on average, I think do you like pre-record and then just bank it and then schedule it, or are you the type to just do it on a whim and then post it? Again?
Well, I tried to bank, especially educational TikTok, because it's more content centric as opposed to my lifestyle account
Yeah.
where it's more about like fun stuff, ganon. So I used to plan yung Teacher Ayin, pero kasi nga na-busy ako lately, hindi ko pa siya masyado nababalikan. But as for my personal account, it's more of a spontaneous thing because I think one of the most important things about being on TikTok is being a consumer yourself. You can't just be a creator on TikTok. You need to enjoy the app. So, yung lifestyle and personal content ko, it's more me scrolling and seeing stuff that inspire me, stuff that ignites something in me. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do that and post it. Ngayon na rin.
So okay, so speaking of FYP, do you feel like majority of your FYP, I feel like it's really maybe 30% of what I really want to see, and then maybe another 30% of trendy shit, and then the 40% is I feel like what they give to people to get a chance to be, alam mo yun, parang I feel like hindi pa rin siya for me parate. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's really the trends that kind of like cloud that space of what really shows. So do you feel like trends are something that you always have to keep an eye on? Or do you feel like trends are, something that just comes in phases or in waves? Now you don't really have to always be as trendy
like-
or hop on the trend.
Like, at what level do you subscribe to trends when you create your content? Because I know you mentioned earlier that you don't really follow trends too much, but are there trends that are like too compelling not to emulate or try to integrate to your content?
Well, I would say trends are still super powerful. They're a really powerful social media tool. But the thing is, you need to personalize it. You need to own the trend. So, for example, if it's a dance, you can still do the dance, but you can put text na either about self-development or something related to what you do or something. Mga,
Injecting
halimbawa,
your-
sumasayaw ka pero ang trend mo or meron kang ano yun, nililip sync pero
Yeah.
ang caption mo is like something about heartbreak or whatever, kung ano man yung niche mo. So it's like, it's a way of staying relevant and it's also very low effort kasi hindi mo na pag-iisipan eh. It's not like, for example, when I do story time or get ready with me, it's like a 3-minute video na I'm just filming, cutting, filming, talking, ganyan. Na yun talaga original. Whereas with trends, it's, I just do what people want to do and then it gets you views, it boosts your other videos, and it really, parang it just helps you stay relevant because it's something to do with the algorithm na if you don't really parang participate in those trends, sometimes you don't appear in FYPs
Yeah.
ng mga tao. So, ayun, it's just part of it.
I like what you said na parang it's owning the trend because I feel like that's your way of staying original also.
Yes.
Even if you're hopping on this trend train, diba?
You still inject your personality.
You still inject your personality. You still stay original.
Yeah.
I super like, because I do see it, pero parang it's just now na it was verbalized to me.
Yeah,
Na even
yeah,
if you like do the trend, do the dance, or do the use to whatever music, pero you insert things about you, and for you, like it's those like motivational stuff, self-care stuff that you insert there. It's genius to me because you're gonna appear in someone's FYP, but also you're gonna stay relevant and original to them. Kasi alam ko na to, pero biglang, wait, she's telling me I look great. She's telling me to look at myself in the mirror. Diba? Parang alam mo yun, it's like
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's super good. Galing.
It's a way also to introduce yourself to a new group of people without
Oh, that's
alienating the one you already have.
Yeah. And without being forceful, no? Na parang you're not like forcing yourself down
Yeah.
their throats na, I'm relevant.
Like for example, there was one time, naalala ko lang, dun sa Teacher Ayin account ko. Parang, so nagtuturo ako ng English. Pero at the same time, may time na nagkamali ako ng post. So, yung post ko for my personal account, nalagay ko dun sa Teacher Ayin account.
Oh, shit.
I think sumayaw ako or like nagkwento ako about kilig ako or something like that. But this is something completely not related. And then the people were like, Teacher Ayn, balik na tayo sa lessons, please. Like, oops, sorry.
At least honest sila. Tsaka hindi ka lahinate, diba?
Like,
That's wholesome though.
yeah.
Thanks for this information, pero can you go back to teaching?
Yeah, like parang, yeah, nice dance, but can you teach again? Ganon.
But do you have indicators ba if you post a video and you know it's like gonna go viral?
Yeah,
or
like
parang
in your years of experience.
Yeah, because you've been
creating
there
content. Parang, are there times na parang you're making this video na parang, shit, I think this is gonna go viral.
this is gonna be good? Parang ganun.
Before posting.
Before
Yeah.
posting.
Before posting, siguro if it's very timely, as in merong ongoing hot topic, and then I talk about it, or like my event, like for example, when I did, I answered the Q&A ng Binibining Pilipinas, and this was before I joined Miss Universe. So hindi pa ako pageantera at that time.
Okay.
Pero I answered the Binibining Pilipinas
Ganda.
questions. I knew that was gonna be either a hit or viral or whatever. Just because, number one, I knew... Hindi naman sana, pero alam ko naman magaling ako.
Tama.
Self-love, let's go.
Minsan nalalaman ako ng microphone if pinagpala. But at the same time, I was very intentional because that was a time nakakatapos lang ng coronation night ng Binibining Pilipinas. So, nag-upload ako agad. So, I was riding on that wave and I knew like the algorithm would pick it up. And then at the same time, alam ko naman na hindi sila madidisappoint sa content na ginawa ko. And I know na I have some kind of authority in that area because at that time I was very active sa Toastmasters, sa public speaking. So in a way, it was educational, timely, relevant, and quality content. So if I hit those requirements, then I know it's gonna be a good video. But the thing is, it's not always like that.
Yeah.
So meron mga times na I get a light bulb moment and I act on it. Usually when I'm really inspired. Pero if that happens to me and I'm burnt out, walang chance of it
Fair.
happening.
Fair.
Sobrang galing kasi like the way you break down, stuff like this and the way you analyze, like it gives us a peek of how you think, kind of.
Yeah.
But also I get that I say na it's an advantage that you have a marketing and advertising background as
That's
well.
true.
Because the way you look at the behavior of your audience and the way you look at KPIs na would that for you are really like goal worthy to achieve, diba? So how do you feel like, are there other ways where you insert your background in marketing and advertising and the way you create your content?
Alam mo, honestly, I think part of it is, wala akong wala akong pretty privilege sa Pilipinas. Like, kasi there's a certain influencer look, right?
I
Like,
super get you.
yeah.
alam mo
I
yun,
super
like,
get you.
there are people who just look like an influencer, who's like, they have
Gee.
it.
A poster child.
Diba? Yun.
Nasaan yung followers?
Pero parang, so I had to work my way around it. Like,
Yeah.
sorry.
It's okay, it's okay.
I had to learn how to be a content creator. So, na-apply ko rin siya siguro sa longevity ng career ko on the internet, because again, I don't look at it as something that I just need to post, relevant. To me, it's really like a long game, and when things are not working for me, I just go back to the drawing board. The same way you would in any project, diba? Like parang dito sa ahensya environment, if something isn't working, if you don't reach your KPIs, if you don't reach your KPIs, if you don't reach yung objectives ng isang project, then you're like, okay, let's evaluate and then let's try again. And that's what I've done with my content time and time again. So in a sense, sa akin medyo may sistema. And like for example, for my podcast, may podcast din ako.
Plug it.
Lahat na lang ng plataforma, no? But it's called Camp Confidence. And when I started it, nasa closet ako. I was inside the closet. I was in the closet. Tapos, in-invite ko yung mga guests over at the time. Tapos magre-record kami. And then I did it for 8 episodes. Tapos parang hindi ko naman siya ma-maintain. It was not sustainable for me. So I went back to the drawing board and I thought, okay, how can this be sustainable? I need a co-host. Kasi kailangan ko ng kabatuhan na hindi ako mahihirapan mag-schedule.
Yeah.
So then I got a co-host. After nun, we were on Zoom. It worked. And then after nun, sabi namin, okay, how do we elevate it even further? So then we were like, maybe we should outsource. Because at that time, I was editing everything, tas hindi siya sustainable because may mga weeks na hindi ko na kaya.
Gets.
So we invested. Nag-hire kami ng editor. After nun, went back to the drawing board. Lahat ng tao, face-to-face na mag-record. We were like, we gotta do it too. So it's like that for me every time, even with my personal content. Na if something isn't working, I step back. I don't take it personally na parang, ay, di na ako relevant, di na ako nakakatawa, di na ako valuable sa mga tao. It's just like, okay, what's happening with the landscape? What do people like to watch now? Is there something I could change with the way I edit or like the kind of content that I make or like maybe the duration of the content? And it's just that. It's very objective. And then I try again.
Nice.
The way that you systematize things is,
I
I
know.
think, very advantageous
Yeah.
to your growth as a content creator. I think I'm a big fan of, as a technical nerd, as a podcast technical nerd. I'm like, I kept saying this even before the recording. I'm like a big fan of how your content looks right now on Camp Confidence.
Thank you.
Fuck,
He was telling me
I was
about
like,
it.
damn, this is
Talaga?
good. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh my gosh, so happy. Kinabahan talaga kami doon kasi ang effort.
It looks so clean, like on the
Yeah.
feed.
Thank you.
That's yeah. We want to try doing that here on the Oddcast also, but
Well, honestly, big kudos rin to our team. Kasi yun nga, we learned how to delegate. Yung mga hindi ko talaga strengths, pinasa na namin. So, Hans, our editor, is actually the one who does yung mga snippets namin
So
on
good.
TikTok, ganun. Tas,
Super good.
nagulat rin kami. Sabi ko, hala, nag-viral na tayo dun sa
So
account
good.
na yun. Tapos parang,
Super nice.
yeah. So, ayun. My next step though is like, how do we monetize it?
Yeah.
Kasi ayoko na
it's
mag-abono.
tough. It's tough, dude.
Yeah.
Speaking of monetizing, what's your take on sponsored posts? Like, kasi di ba now, grabe sobrang tito, di ba now on Instagram you can do yung parang partnership post,
Yeah,
collab
yeah.
post, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even it's been around for the longest time.
Yeah.
But you know, of course, they come out with like features like that that make it easier and stuff like that. But like, what's your take on the whole economy of sponsored content, branded partnerships, and whatnot?
Yeah. Well, there is definitely an ethical way to go about it. Number one, you need to know what you value, what your values are, and the kind of companies that you want to partner with, the kind of brands that you want to partner with. So, and I can speak for myself. I have my own like rules in terms of, okay, who am I going to partner with? Who am I going to collab? Like, for example, products like skincare, actually anything. It needs to be something that I actually use, I believe, and I try. So, I have a couple of skincare partnerships, and pag nakita niyo yung skincare stash ko, yun talaga yung ginagamit ko. Whenever I talk about, like, for example, banks, ganyan, may accounts talaga ako sa kanila. Even yung mga promo ng cellphone, ng load, ganyan, I actually am subscribed. So that's one of the things that I always tell, kasi I have a manager. So alam niya na yun na ako, very picky ako about who I work with. Number one, I need to share the same values. Number two, I need to have creative control about how I put out the content.
Nice.
Creative freedom. Kasi yes, may brief, meron tayong campaign, may theme, everything. But it still needs to be true to who I am. Because, syempre, if you let go of who you are, may alienate mo din yung pinaghirapan mong community.
Totoo.
So, ayun, I think number one is being selective, having non-negotiables, and knowing kung ano yung talagang totoo sa'yo. So, like, for example, ang hard no ko, whitening products. That's a hard no. Like, alam ng team ko na may lumapit, hindi na yung makakarating sa akin. Agad-agad,
Yeah.
it's a no for Ayn, sorry.
Has any brand?
Oh, so many.
Oh shit. Okay.
So many.
Really?
And it's so weird because I'm so open about being a proud morena.
Yeah.
But And still, so many brands reach out and ask me to promote whitening products or like products that have whitening elements or whitening ingredients in them. Or even if the messaging is like slightly off, I'm like, bakit hindi ko pa ba na-explain sarili ko enough?
Yeah.
But ayun, at least that's something na talagang hindi ko mabebenta. Hindi ko ibebenta yung integrity ko for especially for that kind of thing. No.
I like how you have a lot of, these rules and non-negotiables. And that, I mean, especially with your team now, diba, you get to filter those out. But have there been instances wherein, okay, a brand reaches out to you, you share your values with them, and you are, aligned in terms of the vision of what they want you to do. But when you actually started working with them, you found out na parang medyo not aligned pala. Are there brands that you had difficulty working with in that regard?
I think naman with any industry, because it's really, at the end of the day, you work with people. So, iba-iba talaga yan. You encounter differences. But I think because we've been from the beginning pa lang, very firm kami about, okay, Ayn needs to stay true to who she is. Ayn needs to be authentic. So from the beginning, like my expectation na ganon. So when I push back and say, sorry, I can't say this because blah, blah, blah. I can usually defend it rin naman. Now there's a reason why I can't say this. And it's also for the benefit of the brand because I know my audience. I know myself. I know what I should say, what I shouldn't say, what's true to me. And naiintindihan din naman ng brands yun na you can't just dictate what to say sa isang creator, especially if like I have very strong feelings about a lot of things.
Yeah.
So when you set expectations from the beginning, it's easier to work with brands and really come to a compromise where everyone is happy. So yeah, sa simula pa lang talaga, magsala. Basta like
Don't ask us.
filter it. Like set your
don't know how
boundaries
it's-
from
yeah.
the beginning. Yeah.
So given that, you have these non-negotiables and these boundaries that you set for yourself and to protect yourself as well and, protect your hard work and your integrity, as you said. What's a brand or a project that you worked with or that worked on that you really felt like everything just, meshed perfectly and sobrang ganda,
Seamless yung partnership talaga.
Yeah. Na parang, what are those type of brands na, yun nga, you feel like it wasn't work. Parang it was just like having fun with a brand that you really loved.
Actually, super dami kong brands na ganon. Sobrang dami kong brand partnerships na ganon because I'm a very active consumer and I'm a very loyal ako sa mga brands that if I like a brand, if I like a service somewhere, I really stick to it. So I've worked with Avon for a campaign. Actually, nung May, ako yung cover girl nila sa brochure.
Nice.
Yeah, tapos nag-order talaga ako ng mga products nila online.
Yeah.
And pag na-empty ko, I still, parang naubos na yung PR na pinadala nila and then I'd reorder it. So, that one, Avon for sure, super duper enjoy working with them. And hopefully ma-renew baka naman Avon. Pero sobra talagang,
Shout out
ako
Avon.
talaga, I really love their products. I love what they stand for because they're all for the livelihood of women, yung mga Avon ladies natin. So gusto ko yung brand values nila. Plus also very quality yung skincare. Another brand that I love working with, I don't know if you guys have seen my Flexi Spot videos. Yung walking videos ko. Like,
I have
naglalakad ako. So, meron akong series sa TikTok where I walk sa standing desk. So, I have like I have a walking pad and then I have a standing desk na height adjustable. So, that brand, it's called Flexi Spot. I started working with them originally because naghahanap ako ng standing desk because gusto ko na mag-exercise. They sent it over and then I was so happy about like the quality of the desk and I was like, and it was only for one video. Like the brand deal was one video. But then I kept posting about it because I was like, I use it every day. Just look
Yeah.
at me. Ganyan. And it became a series. Naging series siya na me trying to get 10,000 steps while I work.
Damn.
So I would film myself like walking, mag-set up ko yung camera ko, naka-time-lapse, ganyan, maglalakad lang ako. And they were really happy also with the collaboration. And I think that's why it's so important to have a genuine love for the brand that you're working with, because it will show.
Yeah.
And talagang, it shows talaga.
I love it when brands get KOLs that are actually their target
Yeah.
market.
Yes.
I mean,
Diba?
honestly, it's a no-brainer, but sometimes talaga it doesn't really
Pinipilit
happen.
eh.
Oo.
Sometimes like parang this
Parang-
guy
Yeah.
doesn't use this for
Yeah.
sure. Diba?
Like
Yeah.
there are brands talaga that are after for the cloud,
Yeah.
for the influence, so to speak. It's you don't see it often, and it's great to hear that you are very selective with the brands you choose and the brands that you work with, and it reflects real life because again, authenticity is key in
It
content
is.
creation. And
It is.
even when you do sponsored content, it's amazing to see nga na it's really you. It's really you using it. It's really you advocating for it. And
Yeah.
that's rare. That's rare.
Tsaka kailangan, ewan ko, parang it just makes my job easier too. Because
Yeah.
I don't need to read the brief. I can enumerate all the pros of the brand. Like I can
True.
enumerate the services
Yeah.
because it's something that I use. Like pag banks, I mean, you see it on my like my finance tracker. I have those banks sa akin. That's like literally my checkbook. Yung mga ganon na mga I don't need you to tell me. And I think it also fosters a really good relationship with the client because, when they talk to me, they try to explain the brand. I'm like, I've
I
been a
got
long
you.
time
I know.
user. Like, I've been using it for years. You don't even need to tell me.
Yeah. Here nga in the Oddcast, we're big fans of Odd Cafe eh.
Grabe yung Odd Cafe. Sobrang
Grabe yung
sarap
Odd
ng...
Cafe.
Pero
Sarap
sa totoo
talaga.
lang, guys, masarap talaga. Tingnan mo na, ubos
No,
ko
but
na
it's
nga.
really good. Sabay tingin kay Vian.
Andito ba si Via? Oh,
Yeah.
hello po, madam. So anyway, ayun.
Yeah, I think that's all the time we have. But
Yeah.
I think before we go, I think there are a lot of people kasi na, hopefully they're tuning in, this content creator episode. Do you have any advice for aspiring content creators out there who are, maybe they're struggling, maybe they're, on that path that you were on in 2016?
If you guys are struggling and you want to be a content creator, just know that it's something that you can practice. It's something that you can learn. A lot of people think that you need to be born interesting to become a content creator. But if there's anything that I learned about the industry, it's that it's just a set of skills and a body of knowledge na you just need to learn. So immerse yourself in social media. Kung gusto mo magtrabaho sa social media, enjoy it. Figure out the kind of content creator you want to be, the kind of content creator you love to watch, and slowly build your life towards that. Because I feel like some people forget that we have a choice in how we craft our environment. So in my case, I had a 9-to-5 job for a long time, and I've been creating on the side for a long time until dumating ako sa point na kaya ko na bitawan yung full-time job ko. And again, it takes time and effort, and it feels very slow when you're in the middle of it. But if it's something that you want to make happen, it is possible. So if something isn't working, go back to the drawing board, try again, go back to the drawing board, try again. If other people have done it, you can do it too.
Nice. Leandro, that's for you, ah.
I know. That's why I asked the
Leandro.
question.
At Leandro.
At Leandro DS.
Yes.
Yeah, so let us roll out the red carpet for you. Are there gigs or things that are coming up that you want people to keep an eye on? And also your socials, your podcast, your accounts on TikTok. Lahat, sabihin mo.
Nakahilera na
Nakahilera na yan.
Yeah.
To that camera.
Here. Guys, if you guys want to learn more about all the random stuff that I work on, my social media handles are Ayn Bernos everywhere and Ayn Pero Tagalog if you want to learn English. We also have a podcast called Camp Confidence that's all about self-development, and I host it with really amazing entrepreneur, Riza Lana Sebastian. So if you want to learn from her, ako nakikie-epa lang ako dun. But she's very good. Also, ano pa ba?
Buy Nylon, guys.
Yeah, so share ko na lang sa social media. But yeah, thank you guys so much for having me. And thank you for the Libreng Tokyo Cloud. Again, 7th floor, Finman Center.
131 Tordesillas, Makati
Yes, on cafe.
Yung may signage sa labas. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe the Oddcast wherever you listen to your podcasts. We are on Spotify and on YouTube. Watch our videos.
Yeah.
Lots of good shit here and there.
Leandro dresses up every day for this,
I
guys.
do. Every episode, I'm like, I try.
Effort.
So,
oddcast.ph. Follow that. We're also on socials. Oddcast.ph as well. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok,
Spotify.
and that's our podcast. Spotify, YouTube for our actual podcast, and then we have content on.
Yeah, my bad.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
See you next time.
Bye.